Daniel chapter number 6, verse number 18 through 24. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning, and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God hath sent his angel and hath shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me, forasmuch as before him innocence was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. Then was the king exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, and their wives. And the lions had the mastery of them, and brake all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. This is a wonderful, wonderful passage of scriptures where Daniel was lured into a den of lions. I'm sure his enemies that hatched this plan just knew they had achieved victory. It worked out perfectly. Daniel fell right into the trap. The king fell right into the trap. I know they was feeling very proud of themselves. I mean, after all, these were lions. They were there for that very reason. But something unusual happened. It says Daniel was delivered because he believed in his God. This passage of scripture illustrates so many intricate concepts. How by faith God will work on our behalf. The king didn't want Daniel to go into the lion's den, but because he was tricked into it, the scripture said the king even fasted that night, and no music was brought before him, praying, hoping God would deliver him. And that's exactly what happened. God sent one angel, and that one angel paralyzed the lions. When the king stuck his head in, I do not know if it was from this viewpoint, or it could have been from a viewpoint like that, or it could have been a viewpoint where Daniel could have even been like this, patting on the lions, like they were little puppies before him. But how God rescued his servants. Now, someone may be saying, well, that was Daniel. But learn the stories of the Bible. They always repeat. God is trying to teach us something in this story of Daniel, how his people will be persecuted for his name's sake. Now, we know that in the time after Yeshua or Jesus left the earth, how the church was persecuted. How it was a common thing to throw the believers into the lions' den. Polycarp, they threatened him to throw him in the den of lions or feed him to the lions. The Romans thought that this was game or entertainment to have them before the beast. Now, someone may be saying, okay, that's back then. Well, you really can't say that. Once again, learn the stories of the Bible. We are going to show you where they will repeat again. Now, if we take a look at Revelation, the 6th chapter of Revelation starts and it talks about the seal, how the book that was in the right hand of the Father, how the Lamb was worthy to take the book from the Father and able to open the book. What did the book contain that had the 7 seals that the Father had in his right hand? Chapter 6 of the book of Revelations all the way to the end. Why was this so important? Because God is trying to reveal to us what is going to happen, because so many people will be caught off guard at the end time and not prepared for what is going to happen. This is the reason why the book of Revelation is so intricate. The book of Revelation, 6th chapter, it starts with the 4 horsemen of Apocalypse. The rider on the white horse with his bow. Most likely, Antichrist, rise to power. The rider on the red horse, war, to take peace away from the earth. Antichrist and his destructive conquest. The rider on the black horse, famine. When you have a major global conflict that dwarfs anything before it, there will be food rationing. Food will not be as plentiful. The book of Revelation tells us about a few handful of meal will cost a day's wages. And finally, if you have inflation like that, if you have prices skyrocketing like that, you're going to have major death, which is the pale horse. His name is Death that rides it. Revelation tells us that 1/4 of the earth population will be destroyed by death, the pale horse. Let's take a close look at this. You're welcome to go back and read verses 1 through 8 in the book of Revelation. We are just going to focus in on verse number 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth to kill, notice, with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth. Once again, lions and other beasts will destroy. That's why we learn the stories of the Bible. Daniel being thrown to the lion den was simply a precursor. Let's take a look at this. The rider of the white horse, the red horse, the black horse, and the pale horse. Now, if the rider of the pale horse had the power to destroy 1/4 of the earth population, and for simple rounding purpose, we said the population is 7 billion. We know that the population actually is 7.1 billion and counting. So, but for math purpose, let's just use a nice even number. 1/4 of 7 billion is 1,750,000,000 people dead. Now, World War II casualties is estimated at about 60 million. World War I casualty is 37 million. you can see, you can add both those up and you still will be a long way away from the pale horse deaths total. So you see why we believe that this will be a global conflict. And Daniel is a precursor. God, we bless you. We give you glory, honor, and praise.